Today we are breaking down the 2-3-1 formation, the most common and most effective setup for 7v7 soccer. But instead of just telling you where players stand, I want to give you something way more useful, a developmental framework. We're going to look at, number one, the formation and every position in it, how to set it up so it works both for results and for development. Number two, how to set the 2-3-1 and how it fits into the long-term growth of players from 4v4 to 7v7 to 9v9 and eventually 11v11. It's not up to the players to know it at this age, but even for the parents, but the coach must. And number three is finally real, simple 6 key patterns of play that U9 and U10 players can actually understand and execute. So let's get started. Part 1. The formation and what each position means. The 2-3-1 is built on 3 simple ideas: width, depth, and support. It creates a shape that's easy to understand but gives players clear reference points to solve problems during the game. Goalkeeper. At U9 and U10, the goalkeeper is not just a shot stopper. They're the start of your build-up. Their key jobs are to give safe option behind the center backs, distribute short as the first choice, play with higher starting position to sweep long balls. You don't need to be Manuel Neuer back there, but just someone willing to take simple decisions and just stay connected to the team. The 2 center backs. These 2 players form the backbone of the formation. Their key habits: stay connected roughly 5 to 7 yards or meters apart. If one steps for the ball, the other one provides cover. If you play in a 3-2-1 formation, you will have only one central defender that will not have the partner to learn this with. This teaches the basic pressure cover defensive principles they'll use for the rest of their soccer life. In possession, teach them to receive the ball wide from the goalkeeper, play simple passes into midfield, avoid dribbling forward unless there's no pressure at all. There's also the age where they start to understand angles and body shape. So get them comfortable opening up and playing forward. When we attack, they should be allowed and encouraged to go all the way to the center of the field. The 3 midfielders. This is where this formation really shines. You have the left midfielder, center midfielder, and right midfielder. So let's start with the outside players, the left and the right midfielders. Their role is simple: beat the width. Wingers stretch the field horizontally, and that creates space for everyone else. The best way to explain this is to have the limit of the left midfielder staying on the left side of the field and the right midfielder on the right side. They should stay wide early in the build-up, drive forward with the ball when space is open, track back to help defensively on their side, and combine with the striker in attacking transitions. For many players, these are the most fun positions. They get to dribble, run, and make things happen. Central midfielder. This position is the heartbeat of your 2-3-1. This player controls the game with 2 responsibilities: connect and protect. They connect defenders to attackers and they protect the middle of the field on defense. They will be under the most pressure, but also develop the fastest because they will have the most player actions per unit time. The most important thing to teach your central midfielder is stay central, don't chase the ball everywhere. Kids this age want to follow the ball like a magnet, so give them the confidence that their job is to hold the middle and appear as the option when everyone else needs support. They're also here as your switch player. When the left side is crowded, find the central midfielder and then play to the right. And keep it simple. The striker. At U9 and U10, the striker isn't just someone who scores goals or shoots on goal. They're the player who gives your team depth. Their key jobs are to stay high enough to stretch the field, check over the ball at the right moment, provide clean layoff pass, press the opposition center backs on turnovers. This age group tends to have forwards who love drifting back into midfield. You want the opposite. Stay high until the ball comes near you. Create space first. The beauty of the 2-3-1 is that the striker is rarely isolated. They almost always have passing options on both sides and even behind. Part 2. How 2-3-1 fits long-term development. One thing I always emphasize is formations are not about winning youth games. They're about giving players a foundation for the future. Here's how 2-3-1 fits into the bigger picture. From 4v4 to 7v7. At U8 and below, players learn the basics. Dribbling, 1v1, using space, quick decisions, shooting often. There's usually a diamond in the 4v4, one back, two wide, one forward. This means that they have three passing options. In addition to the opportunity to dribble, the 2-3-1 simply takes the diamond and adds an extra layer of support. It introduces lines of support for players, angles of support, width with responsibility, organized build-up, roles without rigidity, and this is exactly what 7v7 should be, a bridge, not a destination. Preparing for 9v9. Most clubs play some variations of 2-3-2-1 or 3-2-3 in 9v9. The 2-3-1 transition naturally goes into those shapes. Your center backs become part of back 3 or back 4. Your wide midfielders either become fullbacks or wingers. Your central midfielders become either the 6, the 8, or the 10. And your striker becomes a 9 or part of the two-front attack. When you coach 2-3-1, well, the players don't feel lost when they move to 9v9. They already know spacing, width, depth, and how to keep good team shape. And then you go preparing for 11v11. Finally, the big field. The 2-3-1 naturally teaches elements of a back 4. They learn how to work in pairs, the center backs with pressure and cover methodology. The fullbacks learn to defend, but also to push forward when needed. They kept the same lessons from 2-3-1. The central midfielders wore lots of hats and roles, so they can understand the 6, the 8, and the 10 roles. And wide players who understand width, but also understand how to cut back to their benefit. And finally, the central striker who understands timing and hold the play, but also how to drop deep and support. Kids who grow up in this formation understand the skeleton of 11v11. Center backs who work together, wingers who stretch the field, and a midfield core that supports both defense and attack. If you teach the habits now, the tactical jump to 11v11 should be much more smooth. Part 3. The patterns of play for U9 and U10. It's simple and effective. The patterns of plays at this age shouldn't be complicated. You don't want rehearsed choreography. What you want is simple, repeatable habits that help kids understand how to move and combine together. Here are the most effective ones. We have 6 today. Pattern 1. 1-2 or give and go. This is a simple attacking structure. In this case, one player is a support to the other. Instead of dribbling, the winger decides to pass to the central midfielder and make a run forward to receive the ball behind their defender. Then they repeat the same pattern with the striker as the supporting act. I coach rondos to teach passing, but the movement must go along with it. That's why I do double rondos in possession games. The coaching points for this are the support player first touch must be soft and well balanced. Winger runs immediately after the pass. The pass cannot be too early. The winger must attract the pressure from their defender. Kids love this because it feels like real soccer. There's a video on a 1-2 pattern on the channel. Check it out after finishing this video, and here's the link. Pattern 2 is third man passing. This is your basic triangle. Essentially, the center mid is a support and also called the third man player. The center back wants to pass to the winger who is open, but that potential pass is blocked by an opponent. Instead, the central mid sees that intention and acts as a support. This pattern can be seen in other areas too. Here's another example. The center mid wants to pass to the striker, but there is simply no clear passing lane. Then the winger can act as a support and enable that pass. Teach players to check to the ball, open up, play quickly into space, support after the pass. This pattern teaches spacing better than any drill. I've done a long video on this pattern that you can see even in professional games. Here's the link to it. Pattern 3. Defensive line changes sides. When we are attacking on the left winger might go all the way forward, and the left center back becomes a fullback. The right center back comes more centrally, and the right winger becomes a right fullback. To give freedom to the winger, the entire backline has to shift a bit to provide cover. So the central mid here can have more freedom to support the attack because the backline provides both offensive and potentially defensive support. Look at how this line will shift to the other side if the ball also shifts. The right winger pushes and is no longer a fullback. The other three players drop and shift to the right. This is something we see from these 8-year-olds all the way to professional games. So learn it quickly. And early, of course. Pattern 4. Counterattacks. When attacking, the most attacking players can take positions from others if the space is there. For example, if the team is defending and clears the ball to the side, then the striker can get the ball and become a winger in this counterattack. It is up to the winger to claim the striker role and attack through the middle instead of overcrowding the wing. But let's say that the winger is not moving fast enough for this counterattack. Should the central mid exploit the space for the counterattack? Absolutely. Then it is up to the winger to notice that and adjust by taking the central position in the midfield. As you can see, there was a rotation of these three players' position for this attack. Afterwards, after the ball is out, they will switch back. But for now, they will attack with the players in these roles because that's what's available. The important habits here are the attacking players to exploit space, the more defensive players to keep the structure by observing these changes. The play stays predictable and safe in case there is a loss of possession. Kids build confidence fast when they know what their options are. Pattern number 5. Defensive shape with covering. On defense, the position switch is forced, not opportunistically taken. This is not a permanent position change, just a recover pattern. Let's say the ball is lost and the winger lost the duel. The central backs are exposed, with one of them covering for the winger. One option is for the other central back to shift more centrally and for the other winger to also drop in defensive shape. That often is not fast enough. So instead, the central midfielder drops into the gap of the central defender to help until the team is organized again. This is a temporary delay until the two wingers recover in the right positions. Oftentimes, the winger who is initially beaten comes to the central midfield position because it's faster than coming all the way to the center back. As you can see, this is another triangle rotation, but in the defense instead of offense. This teaches to cover, to stay compact, and the responsibility when the ball is lost. Again, keep it simple, just drop and protect the middle. Pattern 6. Pressing triggers, striker goes and winger joins. Finally, pressing at youth levels is extremely effective. The very basic high press is striker presses the opponent's center back, blocks the pass to the other defender and keeper. The winger closes on the fullback at that point to prevent simple pass as an outlet, and the central midfielder steps up to block the passing lane inside. Kids love pressing because it feels aggressive and exciting. Just keep it organized with simple rules. The important part is for players to learn to think like the opponent. What does the opponent hate the most? Lack of options and increased pressure. This thought pattern needs to become second nature for the players. So it's important to start early and understand how they work as a team to find the pressing triggers. Check out the video I made specifically for this pattern. So that's the full look at the 2-3-1 formation. It's clean, it's simple, and the most important, it's development first. It gives your players a framework they can actually understand, while teaching the core habits of the real soccer, with depth, support, pressure, and transitions. If you coach and you love these ideas consistently, your players will be confident and ready for 9v9 and eventually 11v11. Thank you for watching.